Hi, my name is Pauline Long, and I am with Sisters Saving Ourselves Now and Pittsburgh Mon Valley Black Women's Roundtable. I am the social media and communications consultant, and I'm here with Miss Eperson at this Black Women's Economic Health Symposium here at Community College on the North Side. And what we're here to do is to provide information and engage women so that they can become more empowered to change their lives, because a study was done which says that Black women in Pittsburgh are worse off than any other place in the United States. This study was engaged by the University of Pittsburgh and the city of Pittsburgh, and 89 cities were involved. So, Ms. Eperson, tell me just a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Again, my name is Roxanne Elizabeth Eperson. I just recently started using my middle name because I like it. And I am the executive director and founder of Women Against Abuse in Relationships, which is a program that provides support and programming for women who've been abused sexually or in teen dating violence or domestic violence relationships. I'm also the president of Healing Hearts and Minds Publishing, and I am writing and creating products and services that all focus on healthy relationships, self-love, and just loving yourself, and just those type of things. Healing. That's my mission, is to help 1 million women globally heal after being abused in sexual assault or domestic violence.
All right.
And I'm also the third thing. This just happened. I become a consultant. This was all God. This was not on my plan, but I'm now a project consultant for YWCA Greater Pittsburgh, and we're working on an initiative to help those who were impacted by the pandemic: women business owners, women business enterprises, and minority women business enterprises. So you'll be hearing a lot about that later. We haven't marketed it yet, but there will be a pitch competition for a small grant for small business owners, like I said, who were impacted by the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole lot of other products and services that we're creating that's going to help women in the Allegheny County.
That is so fantastic. And one of the things that was said here today is that lots of times there's other people who produce products and services for us as Black women. And especially since the pandemic and since the study came out, I'm seeing all kinds of grants available, but there'll be other organizations who are not headed by Black women who will get these grants and come into our communities, and they're going to show us, like we the slave masters again, what we need to do to help ourselves when they are partially the problem. So to hear about these 3 initiatives that you're involved with, and they're all Black, and of course YWC has always been an ally of racial discrimination in Black women, so you're working with some fine organization. So of the things that were presented today, what are 1 or 2 of the best presentations, or the ones that impacted you the most?
Well, the first one was with Judith Mason from Dollar Bank. I really enjoyed her presentation because they have a home ownership program, which they let us know that home ownership is the beginning of wealth building. So I attended that program several years ago and didn't complete it. So after hearing Judith today, and at the age of 66, I am reconsidering home ownership. And age is nothing but a number. I have to live somewhere, so why not be a homeowner? But unfortunately, I'll have to have 2 years worth of Schedule Cs. So for those who want to do this, I'm just starting with my self-employment, so I won't be able to apply for that for at least 2 years. But that's okay. And the other the other presentation was the one from the URA. Oh my goodness, I had no idea of the amount of resources that are available through the URA. So one of the things I'm going to be creating through my project with the Y is a private Facebook group for women business owners and minority women business owners. And I will be putting that kind of information in that page, just information people just don't know about. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a national Facebook organization for Black women business owners that our organization has networked with. So you can network yours with that too. So
Absolutely.
You're not only reaching people in the Pittsburgh
Yes.
area, but you're reaching people all over the country that may have some resources.
And
to
that's
add to for you.
perfect, because now the funding that we're going to provide is only for Pittsburgh, but that's okay. The resources, I'm also creating an online resource directory, which will have national resources, because, like you said before, all these funding opportunities are coming up, and a lot of them are for Black-owned businesses, and a lot of people don't know about these things. Do people know about Hello Alice? Google it, because they're always providing grants and information, resources for minority-owned businesses and
Oh,
women.
I didn't know about that
Yeah,
either.
Hello Alice, I'm telling you. Yeah, helloalice.org, I believe it is.
Okay.
Perfect.
As you were talking about home ownership and your age, um, I was just telling somebody that, my home is paid for, but I'd like to upgrade. And instead of thinking of upgrading, because I'm 70, and
Okay.
I thought, I don't think I need to do that. I got it paid for. Maybe I'll just travel and stay in Airbnbs that are like the house that I wish I had had.
Mm,
But a friend of mine just finished her doctorate degree at 70,
okay.
started a new career, even though she's retired, in counseling, and bought a new house at 73. So when they say your visions and your dreams, as long as you're alive, somewhat healthy, have some income, and if you don't have income, you can get a job. There's a shortage everywhere you go.
Yes.
People are trying to employ you,
Yeah.
or you might want to do a 501c3 and start your own business.
Yes.
But the real key is don't give up.
Don't give up.
Keep going, because it can be done. And I think the thing I liked about the URA and the Allegheny County Housing Authority is how they were talking about one of the resources is that if you qualify, you can go out and buy a $150,000 home, for example, and $80,000 of that will be deferred based on them giving you a letter saying that you're eligible for this program. So you're paying a mortgage on $70,000.
Right.
And
Right.
after you stay there for 10 years, that $80,000 is forgiven. And now if you're a 25-year-old woman or man, because that program is not female driven, you can then at 35 upgrade to a $300,000 home. I used to drive past houses and say, how do people afford these 450 and $700,000 homes? And I'm using that because in Pittsburgh, our homes are cheaper
Right.
than
Right.
most other
Right.
places in the country. And this is how. You
Right.
buy a home, you upgrade, you sell it, you upgrade. And we don't think about that sometimes in the Black community. So,
But let me just correct you. It was the Pittsburgh Housing Authority, not Allegheny County. But
okay,
they have a different program.
okay.
But the presenter here today was from the Pittsburgh Allegheny County.
But I think he did say
But
that there's something
there is,
similar for Allegheny
yeah,
County.
he said their program is they have one, but theirs is different. But he wouldn't go into the details.
Okay,
'Cause
and
he
we'll have
wouldn't-
to find out
Yeah,
what
go
that
to their
is. So,
website.
yeah.
So that's another resource.
Well, that brings me to the last question is that
Okay.
how do we get this information that we got today? I mean, we talked about mental health, we talked about physical health, we talked about trauma. I mean, we
Spiritual.
talked about building wealth, and one of the things about building wealth was home ownership. And a lot of people, I know a girl who doesn't want to own a home. She can afford it because she doesn't want to have to do the maintenance.
Right. Right.
But I guess she's not thinking about the fact that when she sells that home, she's passing on wealth to her children or her grandchildren. If she owns it, and all these years she's been renting, she has maybe other money to pass on, but this is one way, as well as insurance and things of building wealth that is not difficult to do. So how do we get people to see this and understand this and get the information to the people
Well, the
that
one
need
thing,
to have it so they can be empowered to change their life?
right. The one thing I would say about the home ownership and the maintenance and all of that, because people would say, I don't know, maintenance, you have to mow the lawn and this, that. And that. I said, that's going to be in my budget. I'm
Okay.
not worried about that. That's just going to be a part of the budget, you know. But as far as disseminating information, I have no clue other than social media. And you know, mass email lists, a mass email campaign, social media, word of mouth, and we just have to keep putting it out there.
Keep putting it out
And,
there
yeah,
until we
I
reach
mean,
them all.
that's all we can do.
The churches and announcements,
all the
tenant
organizations,
councils.
but yeah, and you know, and like today, I wish this place had been overflowing with people, but I know they did have a virtual component to this, and there's a nice crowd on the virtual component. So
There is.
people are learning, and hopefully the people who are watching and learning will share the information, which is what I'm going to be doing.
Which is exactly what we want them to do. So
Yeah.
we thank you
Yeah.
for that. And we thank
Yeah.
you for your time, Ms.
Thank
Eperson.
you. I appreciated it.